good morning, my people, my people, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the diaspora, machismo. My people, our topic today, the word of the Most High will always stand. The words of the Most High will always stand. O great supreme and sovereign Most High, Father, as I am about to come to speak to your people about you and about your son Yahusha and what you expect of us as your children, Most High, I ask that you will clear my mind. Put only the things you've placed upon my heart, upon my lips. Warn away all who will try to use demonic and other forces to interfere with my thoughts, to interfere with my mind, to interfere with my memory. All who will try to use demonic and other forces to put words in my mouth that were not in my vocabulary. And those who will try to cause me to stumble over words I am familiar with. Send your holy angels right in this spot, Most High. Let your holy angels encamp around me. Put a hedge of protection around this place. Warn off all evil who will try to interfere with this message. In Yahushua's holy name I say, let it be done, my people. It is a very, very beautiful day at this side of the earth. My people, I hope you are able to enjoy this wonderful and auspicious day. It is the glory of the Most High in this day that makes this day an auspicious day. And the glory of the Most High is emanated in the life that He has granted you, so you can be a part of this day. It does not matter what your conditions are. Once you have life, you have the glory of the Most High beaming from within you. And once you have life, you have access to the magnificent power that the Most High has and is ready, is willing, and He is able to give you anything you need. Healing, wealth, calm, tranquility, a faithful husband, a faithful wife, good children. You just go to the Most High and ask, and He will tell you what you need to do in order to have the desires of your heart becomes your reality. My people, today's message, the word of the Most High will always stand. My people, let us go to Daniel chapter 7 and read verse 9. Daniel chapter 7, let us read verse 9. Then the throne was set in its place, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothes were as white as snow, and his hair on his head were as pure wool. My people, this is the word of the Most High. And these are the words of the Most High faithful servant Daniel. You see, Daniel was given the opportunity to look behind the curtain that separated the physical from the spiritual world. And when Daniel looked behind this curtain, the Most High made sure that he was privileged of not seeing the demonic section of the spiritual world, but he was given the opportunity to see the heavenly section of the spiritual world. My people, it is not a lot of people that is given the opportunity to look behind the curtain that separates the physical world from the spiritual world. For one, you have to be an upright man, because if you are not an upright man, the sight that you see behind the spiritual world, whether it is from the demonic world or from the heavenly realms, it is enough to kill you. Your heart will not be able to understand that or to endure the gruesomeness of the demonic world or the splendor of the heavenly world. So Daniel was a man who was upright, loved the Most High, and served the Most High in spirit and in truth since he was a child. My people, in John chapter 10 verse 30, the Son of the Most High Yahweh says, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. Many people have not yet understand what the Son of the Most High was saying when he declared that he and his Father is one. My people, the entire world look at the Bible as a book of contradiction. They look at the Bible as a book of contradiction. And in the Bible, there are many things that contradicts itself, and there is no explanation as to why you can find these contradictions. My people, the Bible was sold to the whole world as the Holy Scriptures, and the Bible is not the Holy Scriptures. The Bible was sold to Christianity as the Holy Scriptures, but the Bible is not the Holy Scriptures. Very often when we read the Bible, we tend to forget that in AD 325, Constantine called the pagans, the bishops of the pagan church of Rome, that were indulging in homosexuality and all of these things, to canonize the Bible. You have to remember that at this stage of Earth's history, the Roman Catholic would have conquered the world. The Romans would have conquered the world. In AD 70, they would have destroyed Jerusalem. They would have confiscated all of the scriptures from Jerusalem, and they would have confiscated all of the ornament that is used in the temple of the Most High for worship, and take them back to Rome. So by this stage, the world was without the Holy Scriptures for about 265 years. The world was without the Scriptures for 265 years. So there is nothing to compare what is being presented with, my people, Constantine and his pagan bishops went into the Holy Scriptures and they dissect the Holy Scriptures. They take what they want and they created the Bible. From that which they choose, they start editing it so it can give a particular narrative. The unfortunate thing about people in this era is that although we have these information exposed to us Although we know all of these facts, history document these facts. When we read the Bible, we read the Bible as if it is the holy scriptures of the Most High. That which the Most High have given to his prophets in the order and in its true form. My people, it is only a foolish, ignorant, and stupid people who will go into the Bible and read the Bible as if it is the holy scriptures, because it is not the holy scriptures of the Most High. In the same Bible that you read, it says all scriptures are given under the inspiration of God as profitable for doctrine, for teaching, for reproof, for correction, and all of these wonderful things. All scriptures, not some scriptures, but yet, when you go and you read the Bible and you pretend it is all scriptures. When people point out the ambiguities and the contradiction of the Bible, you pretend that they're not there because you are a liar. You are of your father, the devil. The Bible is full with contradiction because it is not the undiluted word of the Most High. The Bible is the corrupt word of the Catholic Church that is presented to accomplish a particular purpose. The first purpose was to give the Caucasians, the Edomites, and a road in to the promise of the Most High, which they don't have. The second thing it was supposed to accomplish, it was to ensure that the Edomite identity is hid forever. It was to ensure that the Israelite identity is hid forever. And it was to ensure that the Israelites remain slaves forever. Not for 1,000 years, forever, for eternity, as long as there is an earth and there is activities upon the earth. The Bible was designed to ensure that the chosen of the Most High remain slaves. My people, the Roman Catholic Church came and they said that the Pope took the sanctity of the Sabbath and put it on the first day. And he made null and void Sabbath keeping. Why was it so important for the Edomite Pope, the Caucasian Pope, who are not afforded the privilege of being saved and receiving the benefits that the scriptures has outlined there for man? Why is it that he moved or declared to his followers that he has the power, and he moved the sanctity of the Sabbath from the seventh day to the first day? Why was it so important? My people, the Most High said in his commandments, the fourth commandment, it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all of your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it you must not do any work, neither you, nor your children, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your oxen. Nothing that you own must be engaged in any kind of labor. The Sabbath was dedicated to man as a rest. Let us turn our Bibles to Exodus 16 verse 29. That is Exodus chapter 16 verse 29. See, for the Lord have given you the Sabbath. Therefore, he gave you on the 6th day bread for 2 days. Abide every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day. My people, the Sabbath commandment is the simplest commandment to follow. It is indeed the simplest commandment to follow. Men say it is impossible for anyone to keep the Sabbath. The Sabbath commandment is the simplest commandment to follow. It says, remember the Sabbath is a day of rest. You must not work, your children must not work, your family must not work, and your property must not be indulged in any form of labor. Your cow, your sheep, your goats, whatsoever. It is a day of rest even unto your property. Day of rest. Just chill and do nothing. They say the Sabbath, they say nobody could keep the Sabbath. But this is what is required to you of you in Sabbath keeping. See, for the Lord has given you the Sabbath. Therefore, He gave you on the sixth day bread for 2 days. So the Most High have given you everything you need to eat Friday and for Saturday. Abide ye every man in his place. Everyone is supposed to stay in their place on the Sabbath day. Just in case you did not understand, everyone, abide ye every man in his place. It is being qualified. Let no man go out of his place on the Sabbath day. My people, these are not the words of Moses. These are the words of the Creator of heaven and earth, the Creator of the Redeemer himself, the one who created our Redeemer, our King, the sovereign Prince of the entire universe, Yahushua. This is what he says. But why did he say it? My people, Genesis says that on the seventh day the Most High set it aside and he puts a blessing on it. Let us go and hear what Isaiah have to say. If you keep your feet from breaking the Sabbath and from doing as you please on my holy day, and you call my Sabbath a delight. If you call the Sabbath a day of pleasure, meaning not a day when you go out and do things, but it becomes a pleasure to you for you to just honor the Most High words and to keep his Sabbath. You find pleasure in just doing what the Most High say, in just resting and putting up yourself. The Lord holy day honorable, and if you call it an honorable day, and if you honor it by not going on your own way or doing your own pleasure or speaking your own words, then you will find your joy in the Lord. And I will cause you to ride in victory upon the high places of the earth. And I will feed you with the heritage of Jacob your father, for the mouth of the Most High has spoken it. People, listen to me. The Caucasians does not want you to ride in victory upon the high places of the earth. Why? Deuteronomy chapter 30, says, Deuteronomy chapter 30 says, that the curses are for your enemies, for those who hate you and those who persecute you. But Deuteronomy chapter 28 says, if you fail to honor the Most High and keep his laws, his statutes, his ordinance, you are going to be cursed. So when you fail to keep the Sabbath, you are not given the privileges of riding in victory upon the high places of the Most High, and you receive the curses. The curses are for your enemy. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. They who bought you as bondmen and bondwomen are your enemies. My people, the Bible is simple, the Bible is clear. It is corrupt. What was supposed to be made clear is scattered about in that book. And it's just a fact. So what you're seeing here is that your enemies are riding in victory upon the high places of the earth, and you are being cursed because you refuse to keep the Sabbath as the Most High has prescribed it. My people, listen to this carefully. Listen to this carefully. The Edomites is supposed to be our enemy. They are our enemy. The Most High said it in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. Deuteronomy chapter 30 declares the curses that is outlined in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15 to 68 are for our enemies. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1 to 15 says, if we honor the Most High, this is what is going to be our portion. My people, you have to come to a place to realize that if you are not keeping the Sabbath because you are a member of one of the Christian churches that believe the Pope had the power to move the sanctity of the Sabbath and put it on the first day. I'm not speaking about going to church on the first day, no. I'm speaking about keeping the Sabbath. Then you are saying that the Pope has more authority than the Most High God who give the Sabbath commandment. You are saying that the Pope has more authority than the Most High Son Yahushua, who came because he and his Father are one. That is what you're saying. And if you did not know that the Pope have awarded himself the power to move the sanctity from the seventh day, the sanctity of the Sabbath from the seventh day to the first day, and you're going to church and you're not keeping the Sabbath, then you are saying that what they are doing is right, because you have an obligation to know. You have an obligation to know the things that are important to your salvation, because in the long run, you will be held responsible for your salvation. No one else but you. You can't say you did not, because it is written even in the corrupt Bible. My people, and if you are one who believe that you should keep the Sabbath, and you find yourself going to church every Saturday and participating in all of the activities of Sabbath church, you are saying that the Most High can go to hell. My people, you make excuses. You make excuses to justify you going to church on the Sabbath day. Oh, Jesus went to church on the Sabbath day. He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day. My people, don't forget the scriptures that says that is a book that has been contaminated by the Caucasians, by the Edomites, by the Catholic Church. A book who take out the authentic prophets that the Most High sent with his words to his people and replace them with other Caucasians and their friends who could not even agree on simple things that the Most High outlined in the scriptures. Don't pretend that the Bible is the authentic word of the Most High. It is not. So when you see all of these things about that give you a justifiable reason for going to church, it is the Caucasians who don't want you to ride upon the high places of the earth in victory. They put these stories there to confuse you, to keep you in disobedience to the Most High. Let me tell you something. The Most High word is the only word that should stand. The Most High say, heaven and earth shall pass away, but not even a tickle from his word will pass away. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day. You say, Yahweh, the Son of the Most High, went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day. You try to justify the fact that the Son of the Most High was not homeless when he was homeless, because you want to go to church on the seventh day. You want to meet with your friends on the seventh day. You are selfish. And not only you're selfish, but you're lying on the Son of the Most High. My people, the Most High Son was homeless. He has no home. So where his place would be? His place is the house of his Father. That is why he went there on the Sabbath day. He didn't have an earthly home. There are records of him going to Peter's home and healed Peter's mother. So Peter's mother, who was sick, can minister unto him and his disciples. He healed her. There is record of him going to the Garden of Gethsemane. When John's disciple met and came upon him and decided to follow him, Master, where you live? He said, come and see. The only reason why John's disciple departed from him is because he wasn't living anywhere. When he was troubled, he retreated to the Garden of Gethsemane. When the soldiers needed him to arrest him, they found him in the Garden of Gethsemane, because there is where he spent most of his time. But you are lying on the Son of the Most High because you want to justify your disobedience to the direct instructions of the Most High. My people, the Seventh-day Adventists and all of the Sabbath profess Sabbath-keeping religion don't keep the Sabbath. They all go to church. They conduct the business of the church on the Sabbath day without regards to what the Most High says. Stay in your place on the Sabbath day. Could you imagine the Seventh-day Adventist Church, from which most Sabbath-keeping religion finds its roots, had a prophet by the name of Ellen G. White. Ellen G. White was able to see all manner of vision, but she couldn't see that Exodus 16:29 says, you must stay in your place on the Sabbath day. She can see all kind of things about health, but she could not see that you must stay in your place in the Sabbath day. The word of the Most High written in bold letters in the Bible. Exodus 16, chapter 29. She couldn't see that. She can write volumes upon volumes of books, but she couldn't write about keeping the Sabbath as the Most High has ordained it to be kept. Why? Because Ellen G. White and the founders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church are Caucasians. They know that if they allow the Israelites, who will later or someday join their church, or who will get their hands on the material that they have published, and they start keeping the Sabbath as the Most High have ordained it, that the Israelites began to ride on the high places of the earth in victory. And what will happen? The plagues will automatically go on them. They don't have to do anything. The plagues was designed for them. My people, even Ellen G. White and the founders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church and all of the other religions were ensuring that their nation, the Caucasians nation, the Edomites, remains riding upon the high places of the Most High in victory forever. You can't trust them. You trust no Edomites, don't even listen to them. My people, what did Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, did? When he was casting out the devils, and the devils was glorifying him, he said, hold your peace. I don't want to hear you. It is foolish for us to listen to the Caucasians. Anything they say, nothing at all should be listened to. All of a sudden, you're seeing on social media, this Caucasians, that Caucasians. Oh, the Bible was written by black men and justifying it. I don't want to hear that from you. I know the Bible was written not by black men, but by Israelite men. Our forefathers. The Bible was written by our forefathers for us, not for you. They come in and they say that Jesus was black. Now, the only reason they are making these things public is because they have some ulterior motives. They know that this is already out there in the atmosphere. The information is already being made known by the Most High. People like me and others have been speaking this for quite a while. They are trying to gain your trust. They want them to be the first person you hear it from. And you see all these people on social media putting up their Caucasians people speaking these truths that have been out there. They refuse to hear it. When their black brothers speak it, but when it comes from the Caucasians, they can appreciate it. My people, all of these people go into hell because they are falling for the deception of the Caucasians, and they are encouraging other Israelites to listen when they should be closing their ears. Remember when the Most High Son Yahushua cast out the devils, and the devils praise him and try to speak to him. He said, hold your peace. I don't want to hear you. I'm not listening to a devil. So why are you listening to these devils, the children of Lucifer, the seeds of Esau, the Edomites, the Caucasians? My people, the devil in spirit form and the devil in flesh form, they are still devils. You say, what will Jesus do? Yahushua will not listen to them. Because the devil, whether they are in spirit form or whether they are in fleshy form, flesh and blood, they are still devils. They must not be trusted. They must not be listened to. Because there is always some ulterior motives when they open their mouth and do something positive. Better life. There is an ulterior motive to all of these things, and it is to lure the Israelites into continually trusting them. Let me tell you something. Do you think they would ever come out and tell you that homosexuality makes you a slave? Why? Because it is not in their interest for you to know that. Do you think they would ever come out and tell you that if you have an abortion, you become the slaves? No, it is not in their interest for you to know that. Do you think that they would ever come out and tell you if you lie with a beast, that you will have the spirit of the Most High taken away from you and you become a slave? No. Do you think they would ever come out and tell you if you are raped and kept at rape silence, and he caused a brother or sister to rape, to become a victim of rape by the same person, you become a slave? Do you think they would ever tell you that? No, because they want you to remain a slave. They want you to trust them, while they secretly induce you into homosexuality, bestiality, abortion, and when they rape you, you stay quiet out of your shame, cause a brother or a sister to become victimized as you were victimized, and you become a slave. My people, they want to continue to ride upon the high places of the earth in victory, where it is ordained by the Most High for the Israelites to ride. Remember, people, the Israelites and the Caucasians, the Edomites, are brothers by virtue of being the same mother. We were housed in Rebecca's womb for 9 months. We lived in the same house under the counsel and leadership of Isaac for at least 15 to 20 years until Jacob went away. One is a devil, one is a God. The Caucasians are devil, the Israelites are gods. My people, when Jacob was born, he was born with special powers, godly powers, that could only be realized when he is faithful to the Most High. When Jacob had his seeds were born with those samely godly qualities that could only be developed when we are faithful to the Most High. We see what happened to Enoch. When Enoch lived unconditionally faithful to the Most High, he developed his godly quality, he was translated. We see what happened to Elijah. When Elijah was unconditionally faithful to the Most High, he developed his godly qualities, he was translated. We see what happened to Job. When Job developed his godly qualities by being faithful to the Most High, he was able to withstand and give God glory even in the most difficult of time. They don't want you to develop your godly qualities because they know you're gods. They don't want you to develop your godly qualities. You become so powerful that they will tremble at your feet and beg you in the same way the devils begged Yahawashah. Oh, Son of the Most High, do you come to torment us before our time? Yahawashah in flesh and blood was able to torment devils in the spiritual form. If you choose to live as the Most High have called you to live, by keeping the Sabbath, and I will tell you this, once you decide to honor the Most High and keeping the Sabbath, you are worshiping the Most High as Creator. All of the other commandments which appear difficult become simple. That is why the Most High put such effort on the Sabbath day, because He knows that once you keep the Sabbath and you receive the blessing of the Sabbath, everything else becomes child's play. Easy. Mwah. They don't want. That is why the Pope said he moved the sanctity from the Sabbath to the first day. Because he know the benefits that the Israelites receive when they keep the Sabbath. He know the development that our people will make when we keep the Sabbath. And he knows what will happen to his people when the Israelites keep the Sabbath and is faithful to the Most High. They are protecting themselves. And you preachers, Israelite preachers, go to their schools and they induce you into homosexuality. Now, you can only do as they tell you. But I challenge any one of you to tell your congregation that what I am saying is not true. I challenge you. Tell your congregation what I'm saying is not true. Get the scriptures that I am using. Get the passage from the Bible that I am using. And discuss it with the congregation and see what they say. Some of them will not want to embarrass you. But there will be men and women in that midst who are longing to hear the truth and ready to honor the Most High, who will embarrass you and laugh you out of your own churches, laugh you out of your own pew. You will have to turn the rest of your congregation who did not want to embarrass you against those people for your ministry to survive. My people, you have an obligation to yourself to serve the Most High in spirit and in truth. You have an obligation to yourself to keep the Most High Sabbath as He has ordained it to be kept, to no man, to no one else. They don't have a hell to put you in. They don't have a heaven to give you. The Most High has one. They cannot save you from going to hell, and they cannot give you a free pass into heaven. They themselves are trying to find a free pass to get the favor of the Most High. Oh, great supremacy of the Most High Father. It's an honor, it's a privilege to come before your people and to stand in your presence and in the presence of your Son, Yahushua, to just speak of your words. Your words have power. Your words make me happy. Your words give me joy. To speak it is my delight, my Father. Yahweh, continue to walk with me. Guide my steps. Guide my thoughts. Guide my path onto the path and the thoughts of righteousness. In Yahushua's name I say that to be done. My people, I also pray that the Holy Spirit go with my words. And let the Holy Spirit lend clarity where I would have lent confusion. My name is Chief Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo. I'll talk to you soon.